Welcome everyone to the May 12th City of Broussard Council meeting. Please remember to silence your cell phones and speak into the microphone clearly so you can be heard by everybody on our broadcast at home. Please rise for the pledge. Please welcome Deacon David Tilley from First Baptist Church to lead us in our invocation.
So every year our church sponsors what we call Here For You Acadiana, where we prepare a meal and have door prizes for everyone who works for the city of Broussard, the police department, the fire department. We had that this past Thursday. It was very successful. We had about 80 or 90 people show up. But I wanted to publicly announce to all of you that you are invited to that event. We have it every year, and it's also the same day as the National Day of Prayer. So that's how you know which particular day we're going to have it. So I wanted you all to know that you're invited to be there for that next year as well. All right, let's pray. Father in heaven, Lord, thank you for your blessings, for all that you give us, Lord. We thank you for your son Jesus and the sacrifice he made for us. I pray, Lord, that you would just place your hand upon America and the government here in our country, Lord, as we just continue to strive to do your will and to trust in you, Lord. We just want to ask that you would guide our leaders as they go through their leadership abilities, not only on a national scale, but the parish of Lafayette, Lord, and the city of Broussard especially. Pray, Lord, that you would be with each of the leaders today. Lead them, Lord, to always follow your will and your guidance in all that we do. I pray for our firemen and policemen, Lord, for their protection each and every day as they put their lives on the line for each one of us. Thank you for all that you do here in the city of Broussard, and we give you the praise and the honor and the glory. I pray it all in Jesus.
District 1,
Yes.
District 2,
Yes.
District 4,
Yes.
District 5,
Yes.
at large. Motion approved.
Item 3.1, approval of the March 2026 financial report. Do we have a motion to approve?
Make a motion. Second.
So the highlights on the report was that March came in 9% above 2025's numbers, but 9% below our monthly budget, which puts us 3% below budget for the entire year. But I can report that April's numbers have come in and they are very good. So we'll report on that on the next meeting. Kelly, do you have public comment?
No public comment. District 2,
Yes.
District 4,
Yes.
District 5,
Yes.
at large.
Yay.
District 1,
Yes.
motion approved.
Item 4.1 under other business. Beal Company's book presentation. Mr. Stephen Hebert is here. Welcome, Stephen.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Mayor, council members, department heads. We appreciate it. It's kind of a red letter day for BO companies, or I guess it was 2 weeks ago when we got our shipment of books in. But you may or may not have heard about this project, but we've been working on it since 2018. Our board of directors commissioned this book, and it has been a work in progress since then. I like that. And we're very proud of it. All of you are going to be getting an invitation in 2 weeks on the 27th. I think it's a Wednesday, the last Wednesday of this month. We're having a reception and a book signing at our office, so we hope that you guys come. You each have a signed copy of the book. It is something that the BO family and the BO company is very proud of. I'd like to recognize two of our board members here today, Lisa B.O. Battle and Colette B.O. Smith. And they are here to represent the company. We're very excited. And this is definitely a BO story, BO family and BO companies, the history of it. But it's also a Broussard story. It's about Broussard. It's about this area. It's about how it came up. And it's truly an American story also, I believe. When I started kind of reading all the details and the things that we put up, I mean, think of what it was like to make an Atlantic crossing in the early 1800s with your 3-year-old child. Just think about 1830 and what it was like to cross the Atlantic. That 3-year-old child was Marshall B.O. Sr., and the namesake and the patriarch of the B.O. family. And they made that crossing in the 1830s. And they settled here. He grew up, married a St. Julian. Makes sense, right? And built a sugar plantation, a sugar company, and a sugar mill. And the rest is, like they say, as history. One of the little tags that really caught my eyes that we've said about the book is that it's a full arc of the BO journey, including a risky transatlantic crossing, adaptation to a new land, wars, economic depressions, floods, hurricanes, and the company's eventual transformation from agriculture to commercial real estate. And at its core, it's a story of endurance. And endurance and the steady progress of the BOs is something that I've come to know very, very well. And having worked with them for a little over 10 years, it was so apropos. And I remember to this day when I found out what the mascot of Marshall F. BO School was, the Bulldogs. And that says a lot about this journey and about how they got here, how Broussard got here, and it says a lot about the BO family. I'd like to introduce our author and have her say a couple of words, if you don't mind, Mr. Mayor. Dr. Lana Henry is a writer and editor specializing in local family and business history, memoir, and oral history. She earned her master's and doctorate in English with a concentration of folklore at the University of Louisiana at Lafayette. Her previous works include Passing a Century in the Atchafalaya Basin, the St. Martin Land Company, and the managing, organizing, and editing of Dwight Andrus Jr.'s memoir, Going My Way, all published by the UL Press, as this book is. So, but I want to tell you, everyone in here that is from Broussard and has been from Broussard needs to be nice to Lana, because she's spent the last 8 years digging around Broussard history, talking to family members in and outside of the BO family. So she might have some stuff on you. I'm not sure. I'm just saying. Dr. Lana Henry.
I'm going to hand this to you since I don't have my wheel and handle. Hello, Broussard. Thank you so much for sharing your time with me. I know that you have business to take care of, and so I'll try to keep it brief. But I do just want to ask if there's anyone here who actually remembers this landscape. I know these two ladies do right here. I'm assuming there might be a few others. I know some of us are too young, not including me. So let me ask you something else. How many of you may have had a family member who either worked at the sugar mill or raised cane, delivered cane there to be processed? I'm sure there's somewhere in your family where that might have been true. So a lot of this history comes from the memories of people like yourselves. And that's what makes it so poignant. I mean, yes, did I dig through all the dusty files at the courthouses and the minute books that go back 100+ years at the company itself, and letters that came across the Atlantic written in French? Yes, all of that. But I think the real magic in local history, and this is what attracts me to it, is that there are living documents, if you will, in the memories of people, and getting their words to share those stories really makes history come alive. So it just so happens that if you look at the epigraph of the book, there was a rather prophetic quotation that came from a 1909 issue of the Louisiana Planter and Sugar Manufacturer. And it said, "It would be indeed a most interesting history to trace the growth and development of the B.O. Sugar Factory from its comparatively insignificant beginnings to its present magnificent proportions." And though we no longer have that factory, it indeed was interesting to trace that history. So let me just jog a few more memories, if you'll if you'll let me do that. How many people remember chewing raw sugar cane? That was something I had never done. I'm from Houston, Texas, and I had never been around sugar cane, didn't know anything at all about sugar cane or Broussard or the BOs or anything like that. But I got my field experience, and that was thanks to Brad Judy's. Let me just think here. So, one thing, and I'm glad that Stephen mentioned this. Marshall B.O. was definitely a most successful man, as his descendants have been. But we would be remiss in not recognizing the support that came to him through his marriage to Lucille St. Julian and his various in-laws and his including his mother-in-law and a couple of his brothers-in-law and so forth, because they certainly contributed to helping him get a start. How many people here remember the yellow fever graves? Anybody know that story? The yellow fever graves, yeah, I see some heads nodding, and that was one of the great stories that was shared with me by a former employee. How many people remember the whistle that was described by one person as the clock by which the town lived by? Okay, so there's a beautiful image of that whistle in the book, and this is one of my favorites. Bernard B.O. told me that he had a friend who always said, when you see the first cane truck, it's time to go fishing. And he explained about why, the time of year and what had happened with the water levels and all that kind of thing. But, inextricably tied, the seasons tied to the various activities in the area. Another particular favorite quotation of mine, this comes from Pat St. Julian, whom I'm sure is familiar to some of you. He summed up the sugar mill's impact this way: the economy of Broussard was completely wrapped around the B.O. sugar mill. The B.O. sugar factory was the heart and soul of Broussard. And Billy Girard told me that when that mill was running, all of Broussard smelled like the sugar. And when you'd walk around on the streets, you'd be covered with the black ash and soot. That may be another familiar sensory experience. But let's skip ahead to the present day. Or actually bring it up to the present day, but from the past, how many people here are alumni of St. Cecilia's? Anybody there? How many people may have today children or grandchildren or nieces or nephews that attend Marshall B.O. Elementary School? Does anyone here live in Sable Palms or, let me get to the picture. It's been a while since I've talked about the names of these. Oh, well, I think I lost my place. There I am. Cypress Crossing, Sugar Trace, and Sugar Trace South, Cypress Meadows, and so forth. So obviously, the B.O. companies, as you know better than I do, has had a huge impact on Broussard. And so we're really proud to be able to offer this history. And I want to thank you again for sharing your time with me. I hope you enjoy the work.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. Is there any way I can indulge you guys to get a picture?
Sure, we can do a picture. Would you like one?
Good, if y'all wouldn't mind getting a picture.
We can
right
do it.
here with you guys. in your book.
All right. Thank you again. Item 4.2, Como Engineering update on current projects. Mr. Daniel Hutchinson and Walter Como, we thought we have several projects going on, so we thought an update on some of them would be appropriate. Please, gentlemen.
Yes, sir. I promised the chief I wasn't gonna take more than about 20 minutes, so. It won't take that long. I know that several of y'all were interested in the Lafayette Street extension. We've issued the notice to proceed. The contractor's anticipating starting on May 18th, weather permitting. Always and so as you know, the Madison Street will no longer be a through street. Lafayette Street is going to be reconnected to Main. May 18th. And that's, as of today is what they're telling us. The next project I wanted to give you a little update on is St. DePorres Bridge replacement. And I'd like to go into a little bit of detail. The mayor has actually been, on my case about it because he thought it took too long, but we needed to do a hydraulic study. That bridge crosses Cooley Fortune, and that study is important for when we do something with Arsenal Park, the Main Street crossing, and all of the crossings along Cooley Fortune, which drains a bunch of Broussard. And one thing that we found is once we're able to get the channel, and it's going to take years of changing these structures over time, that will bring down the water level in Cooley Fortune from Morgan all the way down to Arsenal Park, on average about 1 foot. Now, it's going to take years to change these crossings, do what we need to do. In some places, close to 2 feet, which is very significant. This is for a 100-year storm. The other thing that we were able to do with this, and it did take some time to do it, was we are going to replace, we're proposing to replace the Ridgeview Bridge, which is in horrible shape right now, with a box culvert. The box culvert, we're estimating right now is going to cost about $600,000. If we put a bridge there, we would spend north of $1 million, probably close to $1.5 million. So by doing this little bit of extra work, and what we wanted to make sure was that putting this box culvert was not going to cause problems upstream. What we found is it's not going to impact the channel at all. And I just want y'all to remember, we are not, St. DePorres is going to act like it always did. During heavy rains, the water is going to go over the road. If I tried to build a bridge to get above the water surface during heavy rains, it'd be a $3 million project. And so we call it a low water crossing. We've done it before. And kind of the main thing we look at are there alternate ways for people to go, and there's plenty. They can actually get to to Morgan Street. There's other ways for those people to go. So, but I did want to talk a little bit in depth about the study because it's very important. And it's something we're going to be using as a guide going forward for the next few years.
Walter, the St. DePorres Bridge is funded. What's the timeline on getting it to construction?
We probably got a couple months to design it, and then we have to go through bidding and all that. I think probably we'll need to take a saw boring, so we got to see what's under there. But I think we'll have all that within the next 2 or 3 months. Historic Broussard Drainage Initiative 1A. That's the one we've been talking about. If you noticed right here on where the water well is and the sandbagging facility is, there's pipe on site ready to go. The contractor was supposed to have started already. The weather put him back a little bit. We're anticipating he's going to start very, very, very soon. The mayor asked me to propose the next project, which is, we're going to call Historic Broussard 2A, which is changing the outfall at the end of Duke and Ninth Street. They're in terrible condition. We're going to properly size them and get them properly constructed and installed. That will give us the ability. A lot of the drainage stuff we're doing gives Mel some flexibility to do improvements with his folks. Right now, he just has no place to go because everything's shallow and so forth. So that's going to be the next one coming up. We're actually surveying it right now. And then Daniel's going to report on some stuff, but the last thing I wanted to report on was Eola Lift Station. I don't know if y'all are aware, but we bid the project and the contractor was not performing. And actually the contractor barely started and his contract time ran out. We placed the contractor in default, and one of the requirements of state law is that on a public bid, we have to get a payment and performance bond. And that's basically a company that's going to put up the money to make sure the project gets finished. And I'm going to leave it at that and let Gerald comment.
Well, we're proceeding to try to work out an agreement with the bonding company. They have found another contractor that they have engaged to finish the work. The new contract is more than the original contract, but they're going to put up the difference so that the city does not suffer any loss. They're also going to pay for any actual damages which we have. I'm trying to talk to Daniel today about setting up a meeting with DEQ. Part of this project is funded by a loan, a revolving loan from DEQ, and I need to make sure that they're on board with the way we're handling it so that our loan is not adversely impacted. So that's what we're on.
All right, and that concludes what I had. Daniel has a few projects to update you guys on.
All right, so good afternoon. So we have the North St. Jean Bridge replacement. That was a request for proposal. We're issuing the notice to proceed May 18th. We're doing it on May 18th. He said his material lead time, that's a timber bridge, is about mid-June. It should take him about 5 weeks, but he'll be able to do it in time. If they come in early, he's gonna start early. Then we have the water sector projects, which I voted on a couple meetings ago. That's 3 projects. Garber Road Water Well Phase 1, which is the 12-inch water line along North Girard from Swaco Way to Jared Drive, which gives us an alternate loop. That's out for bid. We're opening bids May 21st. We have the Garber Road Water Well Improvements Phase 2, which is a water well, a 500-gallon ground storage tank, and a booster pump station with a generator. And that'll allow us to use the existing Garber Road water well with the new Garber Road well, blend them, and pump the highway.
Daniel, hang on. You said it's 500,000 gallon, 500,000 gallons. So.
500,000 gallons, sorry. And that'll allow us to pump to the water tower on Percy J. Road by Mel's office. We've submitted that to LDH. We've got comments back on that, and we're addressing the comments to submit back to LDH. Once we just submit to LDH, they give us the approval. Then that goes to the Water Sector Commission, and they give us permission to bid. Then we have the LA 1055194 water system generators, which is the generator at the Regal Drive groundwater storage tank and booster station, and a generator at the Highway 90 water tower for the water wells. And that's out for bid right now, and the bids are open May 21st. We have the FY 2025-2026 street overlay. That's the streets y'all that we did for that whole pavement management system, the list of streets they gave us. Phase one, we awarded that. That is reconstruct Boulevard Court, Mill and Overlay, Freeman Road, and Cypress Sunset. And it's all of the patching. Before you did $1 million, and we came in with both phases at 1.35 million. And that main increase was due to the patching and the reconstructing, and then asphalt went up with the war and all that. So it put us a little over with that, and I don't think they thought some of the patching was, when we kind of estimated it, originally, they just used an average percentage, but some of our roads had a decent amount of patching on it, which kind of kicked that up a little bit. Then we have the Albertsons Parkway water well. That's a capital outlay job, which they're approved for engineering right now on it. That's gonna be a water well, a 500,000 gallon ground storage tank, a generator, and booster pumps. And that will tie into the system and pump to this water tower here, which will give us an additional 500,000 gallons, and we can pump to here and use the well there. We're looking at that job. We're probably about 35% with the design on that job. But in conjunction with that, we have done all of the right-of-ways for, I don't know if y'all are familiar where the property is. It's, if you come down the Fezos Road and you go to Albertsons Parkway, it's like one parcel off of Albertsons Parkway on the left-hand side. We've done the surveying and got a road right-of-way. That's went to the right-of-way agent, and I think he's working out the right-of-way agreements with all those people to eventually connect that road. Then we have the South Bernard sidewalks. We talked about a few meetings ago. That's sidewalks from Sable Palms Phase 2 to the parking lot on Fairfield where they park for Central Pizza, and then all the way down South Bernard to Albertsons Parkway. And then we added a section from the power line on Albertsons Parkway to the little shopping center with Emmy's Ice Cream. So we're splitting that up into phases. We've sent right-of-way plats. The whole job is going to need easements for sidewalks. So the first phase, we've sent the right-of-way plats from Sable Palms to the parking lot on Fairfield where they park for Central Pizza, and the Albertsons Parkway section. That's some of our easier sections. The other portions of South Bernard, we have a Lyda Corp. We did a DEQ loan for a gravity sewer down South Bernard, and we're going to eventually put a lift station and gravity sewer all out down Bernard. So we're kind of holding off on that section. That way we get the sewer designed on which side of the road, and we don't block ourselves in to dealing with utilities and stuff like that. And that's about it. Questions?
Just pretty thorough report, Daniel. Thank you. I mean, we've got projects on sewer, drainage, water, expansion, all of it. And that was a lot of information, but it is good, just to give an update because it's a lot to keep up with and it comes in pieces normally. So, I mean, we're open for questions if anybody.
Yeah, and of course, if y'all
Any of the
have a
council has.
question later, call us. We're happy to answer.
Moving the needle on the timelines is what's important. We want to make sure we're getting those projects under construction so we can get them behind us. Thank you. Resolutions, item 5.1, a resolution designating the Daily Advertiser as the official journal for the city of Broussard from June 9th, 2026 to June 9th, 2027. Do we have a motion to approve?
Make the motion. Second.
So this is something that we're required to do by law, that we have to just announce and make official our official journal. We've always gone with the Daily Advertiser. Kelly, do you have public comment?
No public comment.
Council discussion? Daniel just gave us an explanation on this item. Daniel, please, but correct me if I'm wrong. You overran about $350,000 on the initial. Council looked at the asphalt improvement plan months ago, made a commitment for the first year of $1 million with the assumption that it would be about $1 million every year for the next 5 years to touch just about every road in Broussard. After the first one, which includes reconstruction of a few roads and some pretty serious patching, phase two, it was about 350,000 over. So as we approach budget, if we approve this tonight, we'll have the option of either removing the 350 from next year's budget or advancing it again to just move more roads into the system. Is that a pretty good explanation?
Yes, sir. And I mean, just to say, so it's Boulevard Court and Mill and Overlay, Freeman Road and side. So it's about 40, Freeman Road's actually 2 sections. It's about 48 streets that, if you,
This is all we're getting to the ceiling that we,
yeah, 44 of them get the sealing. It's from double texture seal to single texture seal, which, a texture seal is like a emulsion with like a fine aggregate in it. Some roads will get one, some roads will get 2 layers of that. And then there's 1, 2, 3, about 10 roads that get a, kind of like a Thompson water seal type, it stops them from weathering, is the easiest way to say it. It's some kind of sealing mechanism that keeps yeah, it's kind of like that. It's clear. Yeah, it just keeps the asphalt from degrading anymore. Yes.
public comment, Kelly?
No public comment.
Council discussion or questions?
District 4,
Yes.
District 5,
Yes.
at large.
Yay.
District 1,
Yes.
District 2,
Yes.
motion approved.
Item 5.3, Resolution 899-26, a resolution accepting the lowest responsive bid for the Veterans Memorial at St. Julian Park project. Do we have a motion to approve?
Make a motion. Second.
Mr. Brian Boudreaux is our architect. He's here tonight to present the information to the council. Welcome, Brian.
This evening. Yes, we received bids April 23rd. Had a successful bidder, which came in just under budget, Sarton Construction, Sarton LLC. Sorry. I've spoken with him a few times. He's reviewed his bid, he feels comfortable with the project, and he's ready to proceed.
Everything's in order.
Yes, sir.
Public comment, Kelly?
No public comment.
Council discussion?
Question.
District 5,
Yes.
at large.
Yay.
District 1,
Yes.
District 2,
Yes.
District 4,
Yes.
motion approved.
Thank you, Brian. Congratulations on a successful bid. Item 5.4, Resolution Number 900-26, a resolution to amend the 25-26 operating budget and revenues and expenditures for the intergovernmental agreement with Youngsville related to the construction of improvements to the intersection of La Riviere Road and Highway 92 roundabout. Do we have a motion to approve?
Make a motion. Second.
So this item was on our agenda maybe last meeting, very recently, and we went through the roundabout. We have a partnership with Youngsville, but there was a question on the percentage and what would the budgetary burden be on Broussard. Gerald has been working with our office to make sure that we kind of put a cap on that number. And Gerald, would you want to comment? 150 was the number that we have in our resolution.
Right, I think according to the percentages, based on the numbers I had, your share might have been 130 or 140 in that area. So I'll put a cap at 150 in case there's some sort of overrun, but we won't go much higher.
So from here, we'd give me the authority to sign the contract and execute the IGA with Youngsville and move forward with the project. Public comment?
No public comment.
Council discussion?
Question.
At large.
Yay.
District 1,
Yes.
District 2,
Yes.
District 4,
Yes.
District 5,
Yes.
motion approved.
Item 5.5, Resolution Number 901-26, a resolution authorizing the mayor to execute an amendment to the concession agreement between Bonton Concessions LLC and the city of Broussard. Do we have a motion to approve?
Make a motion. Second.
Our concessionaire, Mrs. Stephen O'Brien, one of the owners of Bonton, is here tonight. So Stephen, I'm sure, would be happy to answer any questions. Gerald's been working with Stephen and our city to tweak the new contract. Gerald, if you want to give it an explanation, kind of an overview, that would be helpful.
We had a contract which, on paper expired in 2024, but we continued on a month-to-month basis, so to speak. This amendment extends the contract to 2032. But it clears up, there were a lot of questions that we had concerning responsibilities. For instance, when the contract was originally confected, there was an investment by the concessionaire in certain equipment, and there were provisions that if the contract terminated early, his costs were amortized over a period of the contract, and we had some responsibility for reimbursement. All that time, this makes it clear that all of that is run. There's no obligation. There's just a lump sum amount, which will be the rent for the concession agreement. Also, we added a provision that when the pickleball courts concession area is done, there'll be a bump in the rent consistent with the additional revenues that are expected.
It would add, currently we have 3 concession stands at the park, soccer 2 at baseball, pickleball would add a 4th. Stephen, it's been a good partnership over the years. Your company's done a great job. And Stephen came forward with a lot of these suggestions as well. It makes it a little easier from him from a budgeting perspective. So, and then we've divided responsibilities on maintenance of certain equipment. There would be another fairly significant investment from your side when pickleball opens up, and that concession stand would have to be equipped. But, you know, it's been a good partnership with the city. I believe everybody would agree.
Yeah, Mayor, council members, and department heads. Yeah, since 2017, it's been a great partnership. We're basically the face, as y'all know, out there. We're the first contacts, and we're very proud to represent y'all out there. And we would look forward to moving along for another 7 years. And obviously, there is a quite substantial investment every time we open up a stand. So we look forward to helping out in any way we can. Thank you.
Question? Public comment, Kelly?
No public comment.
Council discussion?
Question.
At large,
Yay.
District 1,
Yes.
District 2,
Yes.
District 4, District 5.
Yes.
Motion approved.
Thank you. Ordinances for introduction, item 6.1, an ordinance amending the operated budget of revenues and expenditures for fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2025 and ending June 30th, 2026. Do we have a motion to introduce?
Make a motion?
Second.
So this will be the introduction of our fiscal year budget. The budget meeting will happen next month as well as the adoption of the budget, but this, we have to open it up before we can get there. Kelly, do you have public comment?
No public comment.
Council?
Question.
District 1,
Yes.
District 2,
Yes.
District 4,
Yes.
District 5.
Yes.
At large.
Yay.
Motion approved.
All right, that was actually the opening up of closing our current budget. The next one will be next year's, but next 26 to 27 budget. An ordinance amending the operated budget of revenues and expenditures for the fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2026 and ending June 30th, 2027. That is ordinance number 26-844. Do we have a motion to introduce?
Make a motion? Second.
Kelly, do you have public comment?
No public comment.
Council discussion?
Question.
District 2,
Yes.
District 4,
Yes.
District 5.
Yes.
At large.
Yay.
District 1.
Yes.
Motion approved.
Ordinances for adoption. 7.1, ordinance number 26-841, an ordinance to amend the zoning ordinance of the city of Broussard by adding map F14 of property to be zoned R1 single family residential and community commercial portions of Highway 92, Young Street and Fobb Road. Do we have a motion to adopt?
Make a motion. Second.
This is the second vote on this item. Kelly, do you have public comment?
No public comment.
Council discussion?
Question.
District 4,
Yes.
District 5,
Yes.
at large.
Yeah.
District 1,
Yes.
District 2,
Yes.
motion approved.
So, please take note that next month's meeting will be held June 17th, which I believe is a Wednesday night. At 5 o'clock will be the budget hearing from 5 to 6. At 6 o'clock will be the council meeting. Those are both public meetings. They are on an alternate night because of scheduling and our auditor. But June 17th, 5 o'clock budget hearing, 6 o'clock council meeting. That is the last item on our agenda. We have Coffee and Broussard at McDonald's Friday, May 22nd. Everyone's invited for good coffee and conversation from 7 till 8 a.m. on that Friday. We hope to see you there. We appreciate you being at our council meeting and joining.